What's up, guys? I just kind of thought I'd do a live stream. Haven't done this much, so you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit to kind of see how this thing goes. Not real sure of everything on this program. Just kind of give this one a shot to see if it's one of the ones I want to use. So if I do, great. If not, so gonna see how who all ends up popping in here. Sweet, Anthony. That's pretty cool. Do you like it so far? I assume you're talking about the manometer, the dual port manometer, something, maybe the one like I have. AJT and Andrew. Yeah, there's 13 people, so we're rising a little bit, guys. This is something I've been wanting to do for a little while, so just going to get a feel for it here and see how things go. Wanted to maybe answer some questions you guys might have had on some of the recent videos and kind of just get to know me type deal. Figured what else do we have going on tonight? With the big Corona thing. So we are here in Ohio, so we do have a lockdown, but we do have the flexibility of going and getting supplies and things like that. We are working. Work is slow. And basically, we've been keeping busy. We've been fortunate enough, pretty much only lost a couple hours here and there, if that. And things have been going pretty good. Hey, Trucker, what's up, man? Yeah, so like I said, we're going to kind of just dink around just a touch here. And if you guys have some questions and stuff, I'm willing to answer them. I know I had a couple questions on some of the videos that I posted recently. More than willing to go through all of that and just kind of get to know everybody out there. And just thought I'd give this a try here and just see how things go. So as always, as you guys have heard in the past, if you've got questions, if you would, please do them in all capitals. That way we can see it. I don't have anyone helping me or anything like that. So pretty much it's all on me as far as to see what's going on. Yeah, Anthony, our supply houses are the same way. Right now, we basically have to call it in, and they're putting it on a table inside like an overhead door at a couple different places. And basically, we go and we pick up our supplies and head on down the road. They're not even asking for signatures. So it's definitely a little bit odd. I think today, a few of the stores local, like the Lowe's and things like that, I've seen some lines outside. So they're starting to limit some of the stores down to how many customers are allowing inside of it. And basically, they're leaving that to the discretion of the stores. Even our even at our shop and stuff, we're going to keep the doors locked, stuff like that. It's something new that's kind of going on. Hey, Chai, what makes up a majority of your company's workload? Well, we're pretty diversified. We have commercial and residential install and service and industrial. So we do everything from the small residential stuff all the way up to industrial, food processing plants, a little bit of everything. We have full-time electricians. We have 2 mechanics for our vehicles. We've got about 100 to 110 plus employees. But pretty much we do a little bit of everything, which is really awesome about here. That's been the flexibility of getting into a lot of different things. A lot of my experience in the past and stuff was residential, light commercial, twinkled in the refrigeration and stuff, nowhere to the extreme that I do now. So probably about this August will be my 6th year here at this company. And basically it's pretty much been probably 90% refrigeration. So a lot of times the videos and what I'm doing is basically just sharing what I've learned. I've kind of noticed over the years that it seems to be hard to get the answers you want. Depending on where you're at, a lot of times the guys don't want to share the knowledge, or maybe they don't necessarily know, whatever the case. And so that was a lot of the reason why I started doing the channel to begin with. And it's just it's kind of a neat feeling to have a lot of people enjoy them. And I think it really helps a lot of the younger guys out that are newer in the field. There's not a lot of things that are super Shazam. I've never seen it before, but I try to look for things that make things interesting. National, no, we're not national. We're a locally owned company. Basically, I don't want to go into like exactly who we are and things like that. That was kind of part of the deal, as you may have known. In the original days, I basically had to yank some of the videos down. So everything's got to be kept, more discreet, things like that, getting permission on everything. Everything's okayed now. That was my fault for not getting permission. And it's all taken care of now. So, we've just got certain rules that we got to follow. And basically, I just kind of throw the basics out there. Let's see here. Hey, JT and Ethan and Chai. What all do we got in here? I'm going to scroll up, see what we got as far as thoughts on probes and manifolds. As far as me, I got the Fieldpiece probes. Those are the ones that I like. I was kind of into the Testo stuff, as you may have noticed. The 557s, which was the model I had originally. They're the ones that were actually made in Germany. The 550s are what you're seeing now because the 557s went down. And then basically, so the probes are basically what I'm using, along with the digital Testos. And then every now and again, you'll see the analogs get used. I like using those a lot of times for setting my pressure controls and things like that. Scrolling on up here, same Nashville, cool. What exactly does a headmaster do? Cheers. Okay, Sterling, I appreciate that. You're over there in France. I appreciate you checking out the videos and stuff and sharing some of the things that you run into. That's really awesome. Headmaster basically is nothing more than a low ambient control. Basically, you can control your head pressure in a couple different ways. You can basically either do it by cycling a fan. You can do Headmaster, which basically holds back the refrigerant into the condenser, which stacks the liquid in there. And it has a little bit of hot gas that'll come in and actually keep the head pressure up. And they can be set based on whatever they're needed, what refrigerant you're using. This last video, the Headmaster was a 215 pound. A lot of times on 404 and stuff, a lot of times you'll see like 180. But in this one here, it was 215. And basically just convert that over to your saturation temperature for the refrigerant you're working with. And basically, from what my understanding, a lot of the systems are primarily set up for about 100-degree saturation temperature. So I don't like to go below 90. I try to shoot for the 95 area to maintain. Then there's some that actually use the Headmaster combined also with fan cycling. I know like the Manitowoc remote condensers and stuff, they'll use that. So let's go ahead and scroll up here a little bit further, see if we can find any other questions. Like I said, if you guys are just tuning in there, just go ahead and put them in caps. So that way I can find them. It's pretty much whatever you guys want to talk about. I kind of been wanting to do this for a while, like I was saying. So it doesn't matter if it's about me or about the videos. We can go over whatever. Let me scroll on down here some more. Am I coming out with my own logo sticker? Hey, Vlogger, what's up, man? I enjoy your videos, man. That's really cool. Getting to see the sights and sounds out there in California. It's pretty cool, San Francisco and stuff. Yeah, I've thought about it. If you've noticed on the bottom corner of some of my videos, my wife producer there was trying to build me a logo, which I've kind of got one now. It's basically a dial indicator. So it's kind of partially a pressure indicator. The divider between the R for refrigeration is a resistor symbol. And if I had it in front of me here, I could probably look at it to describe it a little further. But yeah, we've got that there. And she's actually going to work on getting me maybe some hats and things like that. So let's check out Chai here. Noticed an issue. Have you noticed an issue with Fieldpiece probes not being temperature compensated? I use them daily. I've noticed they lose 0 when you go -10 or below. I have noticed sometimes, especially when you're using those temp probes, if you're using the ones with the humidity gauge, they're not made for really cold ambience. So actually, as much as I hate to say it, I went with the Testo smart probe for my temperatures that are going to go extreme low or extreme high because they don't calculate in the humidity in there. Enthalpy basically is what they are. So I bought those for my supply side for when I'm trying to do temperature rises and things like that. So yeah, I have had some little weirdo things there. That's also, and you didn't mention whether you're talking about the actual pipe clamp or whether you're talking about air clamp, but I have even had some issues when I was setting the superheat in a walk-in freezer. I had some weirdo issues with it. It was kind of like locking up. I don't know if it was doing something funky with the battery or what. So, Mr. Tran, how's it affecting our region? Basically, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, we are in Ohio. We kind of followed suit with Illinois and California and all them, trying to be proactive. We were exempted from the lockdown, if you want to call it that. Not even really a lockdown. It's basically they want to keep you guys out of the stores, spreading the virus around, social distancing, as they call it. And for me, it's not been a real change, but I know for a lot of people, it's really cheated them out of a job that no fault of their own by any means. So Ohio passed a bill that's supposed to get their money to them quicker, and it's supposed to pretty much make up for it, I believe, but I don't know all the odds and ends. It's slowed down our work, because a lot of those businesses that weren't essential that we have coming up, basically, they may be closed. We do a lot of nursing homes, so I know on the first day I was at some of those, I went through one of the back doors, didn't know that they started checking temps and all that. So now on those, you've got to get checked in. They want to check your temperature. Something we're implementing, all the technicians need to check the temperatures. So we're back on this. It's a little bit lower resolution, so I do apologize. Is everyone still out there? I think all I did is lost my video. Hopefully I'm still, yep, good. So, but back to what I was saying, far as nursing homes, stuff like that, we're getting checked in, taking our temps, getting our phone numbers and all that stuff. Video looks fine. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it, Dead Pixel. I also got it streaming down here on my phone. I had the USB cable plugged into my GoPro, and it didn't keep the battery charged. So I think that's what took it out this time too. Little nervous, relax. Verbal lashings won't start till the second or third live stream. Believe it or not, guys, I actually was a mobile disc jockey, started back in 91 and kind of quit back in 2011. So the audio stuff and things like that is nothing new to me. But yeah, a lot of times public speaking, as far as knowing what you're going to say and things like that, can be a little overwhelming, especially if you think about what you're going to say before doing it. I just want to put on the best program possible for you guys and, make it worthwhile. I mean, when I say I appreciate you guys' time, I know time's money and your time's valuable. So I'm trying to put things out there that basically are worthy of your time. So spot video, good. Awesome. Thank you, Weaver. Scrolling back up here and see what else we can find. Yeah, it'll be, I'm not going to take it down. I mean, I did drop one F-bomb there, unfortunately. So I try to keep things clean, possibly. Who's going to be watching you? There we go. Oh, dude, vlogger, that's awfully nice of you. I'll be honest. I was speaking with Dave just not too long ago, NorCal Dave, and he was probably the second guy I started watching. And because, when I was getting into the refrigeration stuff, he was working on the same type of things that I was working on. So it really helped out quite a bit there on that. And then Chris, man, HVACR videos. I mean, the guy is an awesome dude. He wasn't, he was willing to share any of the ins and outs on getting started in the YouTube thing. So, he's been rewarded for it by, this 50,000+ subscribers and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here with this here is just basically trying to share my knowledge with you guys. I'm no super tech or anything like that. I mean, I try to do my best, and that's about all you can ask for. I'm going to bounce around here. Sometimes this can take a little bit, but if you would, make sure you put them in capitals. That way I find them a little bit easier. So we'll just scroll around here a little bit. I think we got all those there in the beginning done. I already said we do the replay thing. Do transducers. Okay, cool, Chai. So yeah, I think I answered that. Tips for anyone thinking about making the switch to refrigeration. Myself personally, I've always loved air conditioning. So the refrigeration, in my opinion, it was always something about it. I don't know if it's the science of the refrigeration, what's going on in the refrigerant pattern and stuff like that, that basically interests me, or what exactly it is, but I really like it. Quite a while back, I worked for a company that did racks and stuff like that, which we do that. And our on-call just switched around. So I am going to be on that. I actually had ran one already at 2:30 in the morning. So I checking out all the other guys on some of that stuff. We use the Johnson controller, and the prior systems that are mainly all failing out and going out was Comtrol. So that's definitely an older system. And but luckily we've got some guys that are really top notch to fall back onto, because I mean, even on that Headmaster video that you guys seen, I knew something was wrong. You could hear it in my voice, and I was leery about posting it. But I want you guys to know I'm just a regular person too. I make mistakes and I miss things here and there, and it's not all about showing ta-da, look at me, I'm so great. I figured it would be useful to someone else that runs into that situation. On that video, basically, I called the one guy that has the most experience at our shop. The guy is like a total ace when it comes to refrigeration. That's primarily what he's done a good majority of his career. He's been there for 39 years, and he's in his mid-50s. So, I called him and I told him, hey, I had a temperature drop across the filter dryer, but it wasn't very much. And instantly, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why'd you do this? Why, boom, it's your Headmaster. And I'm thinking, how in the heck did you figure this out in 10 freaking seconds? So I'm not going to lie. I called for a little bit of help on that one because I hadn't seen that happen before. I'm still a little bit leery that, it was a little undercharged possibly. There was a repair made on that not too horribly long ago, and we are a little bit cooler here in Ohio. That particular day, it was about 50 some degrees. But when the repair was made, I'm not sure what day it happened, but basically it could easily been somewhere in the mid 30s or 40s area. That particular store, along with quite a few of the other ones, is a chain. I've got to keep all that confidential, but basically the equipment's been used and abused. Two other companies had been working on it prior to, and they weren't taking care of it, which is how we ended up getting the job to continue taking care of them for them. And so everything in there is really beat up really bad. And so the control was out of whack. There's so many things that are wrong. So you're looking at all those things in addition to what you're running into. So jumping back down here, what else do we got going on? GoPro's batteries suck. Yeah, they do. I've got 3 of them, actually 4 of them. Basically, generally I can get up to an hour. I noticed the GoPro tends to, you can leave it on standby. It seems to do fairly decent, but as soon as you record, you're using your battery up really quick. How have the tools changed since your first start of the industry? Basically, I graduated high school in '94. I started in the field in 1995. It was I think 9-month course area when I did it. I had a video up of how I got into the field, and I yanked that down. Basically, I'm going to go through, I'm thinking, and possibly repost some of them, take out the old name, which was Northwest Ohio HVAC, and just implement it to the other. And I may put a header in there, hey, this was previously released on whatever date. But because I had some really good ones on there with the ice machines. But going back to how they changed the tools, and you got to bear with me here. I have a tendency to go like a squirrel down the rabbit hole. So I will try to stay on task as much as I can. Tools wise, I still got a good majority of the things I had. One of the things I mentioned in that last video was the orbital flaring tool. I'm, up till recently, I was still using my Yellow Jacket, which was the combination flaring and swedge tool. That was, it is and was a great system. I think I got it for 130 bucks back then, and I haven't had no problems at all with it. Basically, the flaring tool, instead of going straight down into your V and just bending it out into a 45, the orbital just sits there and works its way around. And I got a good deal on it. I search eBay a lot of times. Generally, if people are going to take good care of their tools, I mean, you can kind of tell. I'm very selective on what tools I go with. But on that one there, I bought that orbital tools. People thought it was busted because the tip of it was at an angle. Well, I did the research on it, and that's the way it was. And sure enough, I mean, that tool works really good. It's really quick and fast. As far as other tools have changed, the gauges definitely. I mean, the digital stuff was just kind of tinkering out a little bit. It was too expensive really to get into. So it wasn't until probably 2014, 13 area that I got a digital manifold. As far as meters and stuff like that, I mean, they've kind of changed some. Back in the day, had Fieldpiece, the original stick meter. Still have it. I have 2 of those. The ones that use the little bitty clamps there like that. That meter still works really great. So I've got, I'm kind of a meter whore, and I'm a tool whore. So basically, I love my tools and anything to make my job a little bit funner and a little bit easier. So I could probably go on forever on the tools. Eris, where am I? I'm in Ohio. Let's see. What are you doing? I'm doing a live stream. So, Anthony, I appreciate that. I try to make them as good as possible. And Shannon, I always appreciate your comments and stuff. Definitely your video on the ultrasonic and stuff was pretty good. Shannon Knight there, if you search him on YouTube too, he's got some videos on the ultrasonic leak detector. The thing with the ultrasonic, like I was pushing on those, is you've really got to get used to them and listen to them. You'll be surprised all the weird things you hear. I mean, you can hear arcing in breakers, you can hear loose connections, you can hear vacuum, you can hear all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, fluorescent ballast going out, they all make some noises, but some that are going bad will be screaming loud. There's just all kinds of different things you can hear with it, but you got to get used to it. And if you listen to my video where I had like 5 different sounds, I mean, that kind of gives you an idea of what to listen for. Even though you're hearing other weirdo things, you will hear that type noise, and it'll cut through with the other noises. I mean, you're going to hear it because they're in that ultrasonic band. Basically, anything above 20,000 kilohertz is the maximum a newborn baby can hear at. So this thing starts out somewhere in the mid 30 to low 40,000 range. And I've got a link underneath that video that'll take you to the owner's manual. It'll tell you the specs and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. On my union, no, we are a non-union shop. I've never worked for a union. However, my dad was union. Since we're in Ohio, they built the M1A1, M1A2 Abrams tanks. So, union provided for my family growing up, so I have no problems with the union. It's just I've not really had a need to. Haven't seen, when I first started, one of the union shops was what supported our school, and yet they didn't want to hire any of us when we first came out, which was kind of funny and ironic. So nothing wrong with either or. The union's great. If you want to start out at the bottom, work your way up. I mean, what better way to do it than to let them basically pay you to learn? I've got friends that are electricians, union electricians, and even though the kid was a genius when it came to electronics and stuff like that, He basically went ahead and went through the apprenticeship program and worked his way up, and now he owns his own business. So, all right. Scroll on down and see what else we can find here. HVAC police. Do you have to change your YouTube name? Why did you? I didn't have to change it. Basically, I kind of wanted just to go a little more incognito. I mean, when I narrowed down exactly where I was at, there was some worries that customers might get upset, this and that. So that was all taken care of by basically getting permission from the customers. If you noticed, I usually didn't show much residential, but anytime I do residential, I was definitely getting 100% permission. Same thing with my commercial now. Most of that, I keep wherever I'm working at completely out of it. I'm a little bit more careful about what I say. I wasn't being courteous as I should have been on my first video. So like I said, the original videos, I didn't get permission. It was my fault. So basically, that was why I changed the name, and basically a whole new start. And so, as you can tell, I'm very opinionated and sometimes have a little bit of an attitude. So, and I showed it a little too much in some of those videos. So that wasn't probably the right thing to do. I wanted to help people, but yet at the same time, if they found out who I was, I didn't seem to care because I wanted to put a good image out there. I didn't want to tarnish the company's image or anything like that. That's why I try not to use any foul language and things like that. Do I make mistakes and say things like that? Yes, I do. But it's just, you can look at the videos too as, if you're out there, once it's out there, you can't take it back. So I try to be careful of what I say and things like that, because you never know who's watching. So let's go. Okla. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. The rodent, over to Shannon, said something about the rodent repellers. Absolutely. I get customers all the time. I'll sit there and say, hey, do you have one of those rodent repellers? Well, that's why I have those repellers now in my house, because they do make some funny noises. Worcester, Ohio, I believe. What is that, up by Cleveland? I am basically Northwest Ohio. So basically, so you're probably about 2, and I think Worcester, I'm not 100% certain. I'd have to search it, but I don't want to pop off the screen to do that. So let me look down here. Patel, yeah, like I said, I have been considering putting some of those videos up that I had back in the day because right now we're not getting a whole lot of stuff going on. So far as needing something to put up, because on average, I like to do a minimum of 1 video, and I'd really like to do 2, because the more I'm putting videos out there, the more the algorithm changes, and then YouTube starts recommending you more. So, the more you guys comment, the more you guys give the thumbs up, all those things help. Even if you do thumbs down, which I prefer not to have, but, either way, it's still a view, and they look at it. They could care less whether it's up or down. They honestly are looking at ad revenue. That's all they care about. I mean, it's just like TV. We watch TV, and the programs they put on there, they don't care about the TV ad. They're all about selling the ad space. And it's the same thing on the videos. They're selling space there, and that's how they make their money. We get about a penny per video that shows, or per commercial that shows. So it's definitely not something that you're going to do to try to be a millionaire or anything like that. Especially when you're doing HVAC videos. About the most I've seen is about 120,000 subscribers. The people that are buying the big monster houses have 10 million subscribers. So there's a huge difference, and not everybody's interested in what we do. So you're never going to get probably that base that some of those guys have got out there. Let's see here. Non-union shops are supporting our high school. So that's the way I'm going here in Iowa. Dude, there's nothing wrong with them. Like I said, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, generally they're going to find people that know their stuff to show it. Generally, it's other guys that are in the field. And honestly, what I'm showing is what they're going to basically be showing themselves. Hey, here's what we do, and they're going to start you at the basics and work your way up. I mean, if you think about it, when we started out at school, they took everybody from ground zero. It's just like the military. They take you from ground zero, never shooting a gun, never, not knowing self-defense, nothing. They did the same thing with the HVAC is, I had an electrical, carpentry, welding, farming. I had a wide diversified background and a little bit of everything. So it made it a little bit different. A little difficult when I picked my trade of what I wanted to go into, but you got people that come out of school and have none of those skills at all. So you got to take them up to speed. And a lot of times, that's where they're going to go through basic electricity and basic everything. And you're going to try to cram in brazing and soldering, electrical, the process of refrigeration, the process of heating. There's just so much to cram in there. And even now, I think the most they do is a 2-year class. And, the 1 year or whatever of it is not even related a lot of times to the program itself. So, I don't want to pay I surely didn't want to pay to learn what I already learned in high school, which is math and all your other things that traditional college will, run you through and stuff. So let me go through here some more of the videos. Don't forget, guys, any questions and stuff, by all means, pretty much everything's on the table here. Just go ahead and put them in all caps if you would, so I can find them easier. Hey, Kyle, appreciate that, old fart. Yeah, I feel like that is kind of where I'm getting at. I've been doing this for 25 years now. Believe it or not, I started when I was 19, and this May I will be 45. So make sure, guys, you're wearing those knee pads out there. Get you some good, comfortable ones. That's definitely something you'll want to do. I had kneeling pads, generally what I use most of the time. When I'm working in restaurants and stuff, I'll wear my knee pads because I can move around. So by all means, guys, if you're new in the trade, protect yourself on those things. Same thing with your safety glasses and stuff. When you're drilling, grinding, especially in the grinding, you're supposed to use a face shield. Safety glasses really are not the truly approved by themselves method. You're supposed to have safety glasses and a shield because it can bounce off your cheek and into your eyeball, and you don't want that. You gotta have those things. HI 5-year apprenticeship. Every area is different. Yeah. We had an option. I almost went to work for a union company. I did the testing. This was probably, oh my goodness, 11 years ago, something like that. And I tested in at serviceman level, which I believe everyone does their stuff a little bit different. This local around here is with the plumber and pipe fitters. And so had a lot of plumbing questions on there and a lot of angles and things like that on how to calculate your pipe offsets and things that I'm not good at and don't really do a lot of. So, but I scored high enough that basically it was just the next thing would have been going into the journeyman thing. So I had to do a year before I could go to the journeyman thing. And a lot of times around here, a shop is only required to have one journeyman. And a lot of times the shops will avoid getting those journeymans because they don't want to pay out the top wage. Now, that was going back a few years, but like I said, I can't really speak to it because it's not. I'm not in the union or anything like that. But I make pretty much the same money they do, and the benefits are the same. But that's very unusual. Company I was at before did not pay as good as where I'm at now. So I've been very fortunate, very blessed, and I've got a great company I work for, and I've learned so many things. I would say the biggest thing out there, guys, is you're learning stuff. Don't get too overly conceited that you know everything. I thought I knew a lot until I came to where I'm at now, and I found out how little I knew. So, it's just keep, if you're a new guy out there and stuff, there's a reason why we have 2 eyes, 1 mouth, and 2 ears. You want to, use those 2 pairs there for more than what you use the single, which is your mouth. And because once they get on it, they get on you, you get a reputation, and everybody's always asking about the new guy. So, everyone wants to know, is he lazy? Is he worthless? Does he know what a crescent wrench is from a hammer? Things like that. So, if you go in there with, boom, I'm going to do whatever I can do to, prove myself, and you don't hesitate to do things. I would say that's probably one of the biggest things for you new guys out there is, even when you don't feel like it, just, hey, what can I do for you? Is there anything else you guys need done? And and just boom, head right into it, and do whatever you can do to prove yourself. Because I mean, everyone's going to be watching and looking for you. You've got that stereotype that you got to overcome, and just ask questions, but ask them at the right time. Not everyone likes to answer questions. I mean, when I first started, a lot of them didn't want to talk about things, and they got upset about it and things like that. And I remember getting yelled at. We started out in installation, and basically, I got told, "You're not an effing technician. You're an effing installer, and get over here and get busy." So, later down the line, several years, me and that guy get along great now. But it's just, be humble. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is be humble. Go out there and just have I want to learn attitude. If I can express anything to you guys, is have the I want to learn attitude, and be willing to do whatever. When I first started, I wanted to be in service so bad, and they held me back forever. And, I was volunteering on the weekends to go out with the guys just to learn. I mean, we didn't have a bunch of calls, but I mean, wherever I could go to kind of learn something more, that was where I was at. I didn't get paid, didn't expect to get paid. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it, buddy. I was hoping it'd sound okay. I wish my camera was working right. I need to get me a actual plug to power that GoPro, but hopefully it looks all right. This one's on my newer computer, so hopefully it looks fairly decent out there. Hey, Chris, if you want to come on, man, I can send you a link. We can try to go crazy here and do my first guest. Nothing like being a total rookie here on this, and then all of a sudden bring somebody in. So let me bounce down here. How can we find out when you are going live? Need a 9 o'clock Saturday live stream? I wasn't sure. I was going to try to do 8 o'clock originally. I don't want to overlap on anyone else. Anybody that's already existing is going to have probably more of the viewers, and I don't want to steal nothing from them. Not that, I may possibly do that, but I don't want anybody to have to choose between one or the other. There's a lot of great programs out there, HVAC Overtime, Zach Ciota's channel, then obviously everyone knows Chris. What about Chris? The show. So I was trying to pick out a time. I asked everyone out there. With me being in Ohio, here it's 9:53 p.m. On the West Coast. I believe they're 3 years behind us, 3 hours behind us. So for them guys, it's only 5 o'clock. So I don't, a lot of them don't want to watch the live show on their phone and eat up their data potentially. So that's why I was shooting for 9 o'clock area. But I know Sunday night, Zach's got something going on. You had overtime on Fridays, and I thought somebody was tonight, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's, I don't know if we're going to do Saturdays all the time or what have you. And I am still trying to learn out which program I want to use to do my streaming. You can see this is StreamYard. This is a free one. You got to pay for it and you get some extra features, but there's also OBS, and I was doing some research on some different ones. So it's basically just kind of a learning experience to see what's going on. And it gives you the flexibility to add these different things on the screen, bring guests in and things like that. So it's a little bit of a learning experience there. Every tool has a hammer side. Absolutely, Retread. They told me back in school days, you could judge the experience of a technician by what size hammer he picks up the first time. So, that is one of them old jokes that kind of goes with it. I love using a crescent wrench as a hammer, and my linesman's. Those were my favorite linesman's or my favorite hammers out there. So much out there to learn. Technical advancements, no end to the learning. Mr. Patel. Yes. I mean, the video stuff's great. I mean, like Chris Talks, RSES, that's who my certification's through. They've got a lot of stuff. Then also I do, oh goodness, I'm trying to think of the, I'm trying to think of it. I don't have it off the top of my head, but there's a lot of different ones out there. And then you got Brian Orr's channel and stuff like that. I mean, there's all kinds of different things out there you can learn. And then when in doubt, get your book out. I never read my book. So, I suppose a lot of things that took me forever to learn probably was in the book, but I hate reading. So basically, I I learn faster and better by just following the wires and things like that. So let's go in here. Brian does Saturday at 8. So actually, me coming on at 9:15 worked out probably close to good. So awesome. So I'm going to scroll upwards again to see if I can find any new questions. Chris is eating dinner. See, that's what sucks about it being, so far behind. Them guys are eating. But yeah, I'll try to do a little bit more of a warning next time when I do it. I thought I did it 15 minutes in advance and it would show, but it doesn't appear that it did. If you guys would hit the thumbs up for me, if you would. I know we hit a peak, I think, of about 40 some people, which ain't bad for, not ever doing it before. All I want to do is try to keep this interesting for you guys. I don't want to stay on here and waste your time. So if you got some questions and stuff, please put them all in caps and put them down there. Scrolling back up to Avila. Sink or swim was my training. Still here 3 years into it. Definitely still new to the field. Hey guys, I'm going through it myself. Commercial refrigeration, as far as the racks and stuff. We do supermarket chains. And with us living out here in the sticks, as you can tell in some of my videos, it takes an hour to an hour and a quarter of highway driving at 55, 65 mile an hour to get to some of these jobs. And they might call in super late in the evening. We can do some of it remotely through the computer and stuff. But, I'm learning pretty much everything over on some of that stuff because, it's just bigger. But I'm not downplaying it. It's definitely something to learn. That's why I love watching Refrigeration Rookie. And I'm trying to think of the other guy. Refrigeration TV. He does a lot of big refrigeration stuff similar to what I do or what I'm trying to get into. Thing it's kind of difficult is I don't get to do it during the day. I get to do it at night, which makes it counterproductive in my eyes. But they want to try to keep the most familiar people with the job there as possible. Generally, a lot of us way we do our calls is a lot of us try to go back to the same places. So if we have a certain place that we are working at, a lot of times you'll be the repeat person back there because you know where everything's at. So it only makes sense. But obviously, no one wants to be on call. Our on-call rotation usually is somewhere between every 4 to 5 weeks, sometimes every 6 weeks, but generally 4 to 5 weeks. You'll be on the 5th or the 4th week. It just depends. And we're on for 7 days. It starts on a Monday morning. Myself, I wish it started on a Friday. That way you could get the hit out of the way for the weekend. And then when you're done, that'd be coming up on the Friday, but that's not how it works. And we get compensated pretty good for it. I'm going to scroll back up a little higher here to see what else we got going on. And then I'm going to scroll back down. So I apologize for a little bit of a delay here. It's a little bit of a learning experience here. That's why I might have to check out the one of the other things, one of the other programs. So Fire Alert, Dave, Jessona. So I don't have really any questions here. Yeah, thanks, Dead Pixel. Way to encourage him there with the different stuff. So if you guys don't have any other questions for me or anything out there, if you would hit the like button. Like I said, it didn't have to be related to any of the videos. I appreciate everyone out there subscribing. If you haven't clicked the notification bell, that's really important. A good majority of my viewers, 60% of you, are not even subscribed. So not only do you subscribe, but you got to hit that little bell there. And that right there will give you a little flash up on your device, computer, whatever it is that you're mainly watching on. So, and you can always turn it off, so you're not stuck with it. So if you want to try to see more of what I'm throwing out there, you guys can do that. Am I seeing more R290 systems? We are a True dealer and we sell True. So yeah, we've got some R290 systems. I've had a few issues with compressors frying, evaporator and condenser leaks. It's not a humongo deal as what I first thought it was. Like Chris has gone over some of it. Basically, I use an Inficon combustion leak detector, which I figured if they were showing that one, Basically, it must be a decent one, and it seems to be pretty promising, pretty good. I have no complaints. Um, basically, bleed through the system. Follow the practices. Watch the video that they want you to get familiarized with on True's website. There's other oones out there. Just basically, they want you to put up the signs, let your leak detector run while you're trying to bleed it out. Myself personally, I'm using a 50-foot refrigeration hose, quarter-inch hose, and I am running it out a drive-through window out the back door, because to me, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to vent that in the building if I don't need to. So basically, I'll vent that out the backside, and that to me just makes it a little bit better. Patel, what is a good electronic leak finder in an affordable range? Well, affordable is in the eye of the beholder. I have tried both field pieces. I had the H10 PM, the H10 Pro, Inficon DTEC Select, the TIFF ZX, and long ago I had a CPS, which was garbage. Right now, the two I'm using is the DTEC Select, which everyone in my company, that's all they use. The DTEC does a pretty good job. I think the H10 is a little better, but the H10 also can get poisoned from the sensor. I picked mine up, once again, used on eBay for $200. It was in mint condition. It was only a year old. I mean, you got to be really careful when you buy stuff on eBay. You got to look at the person's reviews. You got to look at the condition of it. I mean, things all scratched to hell and back and looks like crap. I mean, chances are the guy didn't take care of it. So, there's nothing wrong with getting things used, in my opinion. I mean, some people say never buy a meter used. I just bought a Fluke 902 FC. It looks immaculate. I mean, there's not a scratch on it. So, I made sure, everything worked out on it fine. I tested it against my Fluke 376 FC. The amperage is dead on, the voltage is dead on, the resistance is dead on, and microamps was on. I was using the amp probe, which was actually more accurate than both of the Flukes, and amp probe is technically owned by them. But once again, I'm getting off track. But back to the refrigerant leak detectors. The DTEC Select, if you guys have heard of Zorro Tools, they will have sometimes 15 to 25% rebates over a certain dollar amount. So Zorro Tools, ZORO.com. I got my DTEC Select for $315. It sells for $480 something. I think it was low 300s. Locally, it sells for about $389 is about the best we could get. And basically, that detector is a pretty good detector. I don't think it does real good on 410A. When I was doing residential, that was why I traded that one off. But with 404, 134A, 22, and all that stuff, it seems to do pretty good on that stuff. The 410 or the H10 PM and Pro both, I mean, I don't see a lot of difference. The only difference in them is the pump. But they do an exceptionally good job. And once again, it's another detector you got to learn. All of them are detectors you got to learn. Myself personally, I do not like the Field Piece at all. Field Piece is a great company. They stand behind their product. I got to admit, I didn't like the heated diode version. And I complained about it, and I talked to them about it, and they sent me the infrared version. And I tried that. It had less false alarms, but it also wasn't as sensitive. And whenever I found a leak, I compared it to the H10, and basically the H10's pretty much always done it. Now, one thing I noticed with the TIFF ZX, it has almost the exact R22 performance. And like another one of the guys have said out there, each detector's got its strength and weaknesses depending on the refrigerant you're working with. Like the TIFF ZX works awesome on R22, 404, basically your first generation HFCs and things like that. It does awesome on those things. It does okay on 410A. But that's also where the ultrasonic comes in handy. The ultrasonic for outside work is why I got that. I picked up that little one that you've seen on eBay. I picked it up for a good price, and I am thinking about selling it because I basically have that gooseneck, and I really don't need two of them. And I like the gooseneck better only because it has a longer wand. So, I mean, if you keep checking around for that, I may throw that on there. And the thing is the same third generation. It's all my tools are really well taken care of and stuff. Off track is a good thing. Depends. I get yelled at sometimes. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll do the call-in stuff at maybe on the next one. So, oh, yeah, I didn't see that video on Vlogger yet. It said something about unemployment or whatever, so I'll have to check that one out. Just seen one of the comments down there, so I'll need to check that video out there. Yeah, because I would like to bring on guests and things like that. I want to, Chris has agreed to come on with me and stuff, so I was going to bring him on. I think NorCal Dave is going to come on. I pretty much am willing to share the light with anybody, man. I just want to have fun. I want to have fun doing this. To me, I mean, I really enjoy it. I get a kick out of the comments and stuff that I get back. I mean, it makes me feel really good. So I guess I'm selfish in a way that I really love the comments that I get back from the people. So I really love it. I mean, that's what I like about it. And to see that I was able to help somebody out, because everyone works at different locations. Depending on where you work at, some people have a lot of people that are willing to share the knowledge, and you've got some that are hermits that won't share anything. And I'm not one of those persons. I pretty much will share anything. My feeling was, if you're always trying to be the best at whatever it is you're doing, you don't have to worry about trying to keep things to yourself to try to keep your job secure. Because, man, I'm telling you what, and this was even something I told the boss, man. I said, people want to watch these videos. There's nobody that's going to watch them that are going to go out and replace us just from watching what I'm showing. I try not to show too much information. I try to put the disclaimers out there because I don't want nobody that's not properly trained going out and getting themselves hurt and, coming back after me. So, it's one of them things where I'm not trying to outsource anybody's job or anything stupid like that. That's the total opposite of what I'm doing. I can't control who's watching them and things like that, but I do leave as much as I can out, but yet still keep it interesting enough. I seen one question in there far as the how many ice cream machines type stuff like that. We lease out, I think we got 5 stores that have the Stolding U431. That was the one I started out on. And once again, now I haven't showed a whole lot on those because I guess I am being a little selfish. When I started that, the person that was doing it prior to didn't help me out hardly at all. So once again, there's a reason why I'm doing these videos. And a lot of it's because I've been the person not getting the information that I want. And I guess it's my way of getting even is to help other people out. And, that's the reason why basically I like doing it. So Superior Comfort there. The sensor is a little expensive. It's $110, I think, on average. What we do is we charge, I think, $5 for every leak test we do. So, I mean, you can do a crap load of $5 leak searches and you can buy that sensor. So we're provided one sensor a year for our leak detector. So, I mean, that's one nice thing about the D-Tech Select is it uses infrared. It's technically supposed to be good for 10 years. Nico. Hey, boss, keep up the ice cream machine repair vids coming. Help me a lot. I actually got one that I've thought about showing. It's just changing the belt on the pump. It's nothing super high tech. A lot of times I feel like I'm posting stuff that's so elementary that it's just kind of dumb or whatever. Hey, Beaver, what's up, man? Good to see you. I don't want to make them too elementary to the point where you guys are bored with them. But then again, if you see it, and you're like, God, this is stupid. Got to remember, I mean, I've got all different types of people watching these. I've got everything from the beginners to, the experienced guys. So, I keep hearing every now and again, they learn something as far as a little trick or something. And I've learned a lot of cool tricks too. I mean, one that sticks out in my mind was the guy using the amp clamp, putting it over top of the solenoid and the magnetic field. That's all an amp clamp does is measure magnetic field. The trick I originally was shown, take a screwdriver and put it on top of the magnet and see if you can feel it touching it or holding on to it. And basically, the amp clamp thing, you open it up and you just kind of clamp around it and it picks up the flux lines, which is the magnetic field around it. And boom, you'll see an arbitrary number of 20, 30, 40 amps, whatever. You're going to see amperage, nothing, it wouldn't be there. And that was something I picked up. I may not have learned a boatload off of it, but little things like that come in handy later and makes the job a lot easier. Let's see here. Let me see what else we got going on. Hey, Nico, do you guys, what brand of ice cream machine do you guys do? Because, the one that I've had a lot of issues with, and we don't work on many of them, is the Taylor. Yeah, it's not a mistake unless you have to call the front office. But far as the Taylor and stuff, what's really cool is I had a person out there that actually used to be a Taylor service guy and no longer works on them, but seen my video and offered me those books. I mean, it's a cool brotherhood out there, guys, and that's what I kind of like to, far as what I want to be about is being a channel that helps each other out. And that's primarily, like I said, my whole thing that I was looking to do is be a channel that helps each other out. Don't need no egos or any of that garbage crap. I mean, because about the time you do, you're gonna get shown up real quick. And I learned, like I said, I've learned the hard way that I thought I was something special until I started where I'm at now. And it's like when you get on a couple 1,000+ ton chiller that's doing a food processing plant, some of the Fricks and some of the really large carriers, and we got some trains out there and things like that. I don't know a whole lot about them. I mean, I went to the 3-day class and we just went through it again, but I don't get to see them a lot. So chillers and the grocery racks, those are my two that I'm basically where I struggle at. So I've got to rely on somebody else at that point, and I know that feeling. It sucks. For me, you got to humble yourself and ask, and you've got to worry about, do they think I'm an idiot or something like that? And unfortunately, if they're a good person, they're going to know that they should see that your desire to learn is there, and they should accept, some of the questions that you give them. So, that's why I used to be a service manager where I was at before I came to where I'm at. And I never looked down on anybody for asking questions and stuff. And, I just gave them the information, didn't think twice of it. I didn't think high or low of them or nothing like that. And I just moved right on to the next thing. So if you guys got any questions, by all means, if you would drop it in here, all caps. We're coming up on just about the 1 hour mark. I don't want to keep everyone hanging around here. Also hit the thumbs up if you would, please. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you guys want to be notified of it. Then also too on on the videos, I know depending on whether you're looking at it too with the phone or the computer, a lot of times you don't see all the details and stuff. I try to put links in there. I pretty well everything that I use in my videos, I have links on down below. There's a lot of them will take you to a website that'll show it laid out so you guys can see what I got, and it takes it to an Amazon link. I get a percentage. I think it's like 1% or something of whatever. There's like a finder's fee they give. So it's cool. Get, a $30 gift card every now and again from Amazon. I mean, we ain't getting rich off of it, but you still get it for the same money as what you would through Amazon. And I get a little credit for it, which is cool. Don't have to. I don't have a one of the Patreon accounts. I've got one set up, but I haven't put it on there. I may at one point in time. I really don't know how successful that really is anyhow, but let me scroll down here and see what else you got going on here. Oh, Archer mentioned I think he's talking about the Testo probes, the temperature compensation. In the Testo, generally, I think they throw it off by almost 3 degrees. I think it's ATF, or I forget exactly what they call it, but there's a setting in there that Testo had worked in there to kind of make up for the temperature loss of when you're like clamped onto a line set, and say you got the condenser in front of it blowing onto the line set. It's supposed to take that into consideration. I believe it reads 3 degrees warmer than what it is, but basically you can defeat that. I know basically all the other brands, a lot of them don't, but you just got to get close to it. Who don't put pineapple on their pizza? You got to, oh man, that's horrible. But I don't even know what the Pixel here is doing. What do we got going on here? Pineapple on your pizza, yes or no? Vlogger, hell yeah, I like pineapple. My favorite is pepperoni, pineapple, sausage. I kind of like mushrooms every now and again, and onions too, potentially, but pepperoni and sausage and pineapple is my three most favorite ones. So, what else do we got going on here? If you guys, like I said, I don't want to keep you on here very long. We're right at the 1 hour mark here. So if you got a question, by all means, doesn't matter. It could be about me. It could be about the videos. I want to do this again. I'd like to start bringing on guests, like I was saying. Favorite electronic tool used in the field? Pretty much my meter is what I use the most, and the gauges. The wireless probes have made it really easy and stuff. What else do we got here? Why would it? Yeah, okay. That's kind of interesting. So you can click on that. I haven't figured out this program, and I don't know if I would like it. It's actually pretty basic. Here we go on Weaver maintenance. Boom. When I actually shut down 3 750-ton chillers in a large bank data center, I didn't have to call the front office. The bank corporate called me. Yeah, I could imagine. That would probably not be a good thing. I'm usually going to ask before I go do anything too crazy. Yeah, Archer there. He's from Europe, France, if I remember correctly. Digital. What manifold do I like, Anthony? Del Grego. Testo 557 is my favorite. The 550s, I'm using them. They're off by about, when you unhook them, there's always a 2 degree offset there that's like doesn't ever go back to zero. I think it's a cheaper transducer in it. I've called them about it and talked to them, and basically, I mean, for $250 and you get 2 probes versus the 550s, which I paid like $490 some for. There's got to be a give somewhere. I mean, even analogs, the best you can get, I think, is 1% to 2% area. 3 is the average. So, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of something off on a little bit of everything. So, I love the Fieldpiece probes, but I don't really like their manifold. They're so big. I like the small size of the Testo. So that's what my appeal to the Testo is. And like I said, the 557s, I'd like to get another set of them. But I was a little upset with them when the transducer went out, and I'm like, hey, I show your gauges all the time on my YouTube channel. It's free advertising. I mean, can you do anything for me? And they didn't even email me back to even say yes, no, screw yourself or anything. I'm more than willing to pay for it. And I've done before, sent them in a couple times, but just they didn't even make an attempt. But yet, one thing I can say good about Fieldpiece is a lot of times it's out of warranty and they'll take care of you. So, I mean, Fieldpiece, I mean, they stand behind it. I had problems with one of my probes, and they sent me the probe and said, hey, send the other one back. I mean, they trusted me in advance to send it to me, and they paid for the shipping. I mean, that right there, Fieldpiece is a good company. I can't complain a bit out of them. So, I mean, if you like their gauges, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like the size of them is the only thing I didn't like. But I love their probes. I like them quite a bit. Let's see here. What else I can find? Like I said, guys, I don't want to go super long here. So if you've got some questions and stuff, capitalize, if you would, all caps. Put it in there. I'm going to scroll back up here and make sure I didn't miss nothing. Hopefully I didn't. Some VRF videos. I'll tell you what, if we're talking like Mitsubishi and stuff, I don't do a lot of Mitsubishi. I've been through City Multi. I've been through the M&P. I am not very good at them. I'll admit it. Basically, we don't get to work on a lot of them. I've got the tool to hook my computer up to them. I have video that I can show you. Basically, the compressor was pulling high amperage, and basically the tech service I got from Mitsubishi was horrible. And to say the least, I pissed them off, and they didn't want to call me back. So I guess I put a little too much faith in some manufacturers out there. I mean, they are some of the better stuff out there, but I was not very happy about their, the guy just got mad because I was like, look, man, you told me to replace the compressor, called you back. It didn't work. You told me to replace the control boards. That didn't work. Now you're telling me to replace the compressor again. To say the least, they changed the whole outdoor unit. I mean, what kind of technician is that? I mean, I asked for help and I did not get it. And that really sucks because, I mean, the customer, believe it or not, we ordered the part and we waited nearly a month and a half because they lost the order and didn't even didn't get it sent out. So I am not too impressed with Mitsubishi right now. I mean, they're good stuff, but man, they dropped the ball big time on this one that we had, and I didn't want to show that video because it just every time I do it, everything went wrong that could go wrong. So, like I said, I don't do a boatload with it. So like I said, I don't really do a whole bunch with them. So that's a lot of the reason. I've got one video where I've done a couple pull downs and things like that. So, all right. Some Taylor, mostly Stolding. Yeah, Stolding is what we do. That's what I've been to the class on. I've been to the factory out in Wisconsin, and I also did it down in Columbus, Ohio. And I've gotten pretty decent at them now. I think this is my 4th year possibly on them. So I learned the hard way on those, and that's when I took them over. I said, look, you're gonna have to cut me some slack on these things because basically, we have to eat our callbacks. So we got to make sure we do stuff right when we do it. And, we're compensated for it, but, we got to eat our callbacks. So we try to make doggone sure we do a really good job the first time. I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom. No, that, believe it or not, is a triplet meter. And triplet was made in Bluffton, Ohio, not even very far from me. And believe it or not, my mom actually worked there before I was born. This is the, let me see if I can find this is the 630. This actually went up to potentially 6,000 volts up here. And it could do an AC or DC both. It did DC milliamps and did resistance. And it still works. So this hard case and stuff, my dad used to have these because my mom worked there. They would have defected ones, and he used to keep stuff in his toolbox and stuff. So I got a fairly brand new case on it. And the little needle there works. I mean, the newer ones actually had a glass behind it. Triplet's still made, but they've been sold. I think they got sold to Amp Probe, and then they got sold to somebody else. And I don't know. It actually, obviously, it's probably within 4 volts of a digital meter. So obviously it's going to be an averaging meter. That's basically, what the old ones were. AHR Expo. Yes, sir. I was going to go to it and I screwed up and booked the wrong date. I thought I had the hotel that was next door to it and got it for like $75 a night. But as I was bouncing back and forth between sites, I didn't realize the date went back to default, which was like a week or two or whatever, a month ahead time. Did not see it. Booked the hotel, which was non-refundable. Booked the flight. That was refundable. And basically all said and done, I got my money back eventually, which was a real pain in the hiney. But I didn't get to go. And so unfortunately I didn't go, but I'll be driving to the Chicago one. It's only 4.5 hours, between 4 and 4.5 hours to get to Chicago from Ohio here. So I can practically live real close to the highway that takes you right over there. So not a big deal at all. I actually did call Ralph, and he gave me some advice on that Mitsubishi, and I got a little bit further once I knew what to ask for. And I said, I want to talk to this particular type of person. And he's like, Bubba, you're already talking to him. I'm like thinking, okay, then why ain't you helping me out? So the guy did end up getting me a new unit, and that was our local rep, basically. So, I mean, they got it taken care of, but as far as trying to rely on them, far as over the phone, I wasn't too happy. I never had the Simpson meter, though. But yeah, that's that one, and my Amp Probe, the original made in the USA clamp one. I've got that one on the truck. I just keep it too. Field Piece 380. Yeah, I was looking at I think it was the 400 series Field Piece. I was going to get it because it had all the goodies in it. But if my Amp Probe, what I hated the most about it was it has DC amps, which I love because I do generators. But it would default to it sometimes, and you all of a sudden think that you had amperage there, and it's like, okay, I'm only wanting to measure AC, so why am I doing this? So, and I watched Rookie's video on the 902 FC, and so I knew up front that I was probably not going to use everything that I wasn't going to have everything I wanted on it. But, I have a Fluke 376. I have a Fluke 1 112. I have the 117. I have a Fluke 87.5. And I've got 2 of the original stick field piece meters and that amp probe. I have a phase rotation meter, and I have an X-Tech Megger. So I've got a crap load of meters. So I got all the different ones. I mean, the one at amp probe one I had, that was a electrical meter. So I really loved that one there because it had phase rotation, all that crap on it, but it just had it had quirks that I did not like. I'm going to scroll back up, and then, like I said, if you guys got any questions, do them real quick because I don't want to hold you on here. We're at an hour and 11 minutes area, and we'll probably go ahead and. How come when I compare voltage, let's go ahead and bring that up there. That's kind of cool. How come when I compare voltage and amperage between different meters, I never get the exact same one? Voltage is quite the offset. Generally, for me, the voltage usually is pretty doggone close. That's also going to have a lot to do with whether it's a true RMS meter. The Flukes, they were all together. The amp probe actually had better specs than the Fluke. It had like a 2% variance, and then plus they'll put a digit behind it, plus or minus. Now, like the field piece had a plus or minus 10 places plus a 2 or a 2.5% variance. But we're not really doing rocket science here. Generally, the motor's either going to pull massively over or, it's not. And then the same thing with the microamps for your flame sense. I mean, I really didn't even have a meter that did it that was with me. Well, you'd be one of them, vlogger. I definitely wanted to see Chris. I mean, honestly, I was wanting to go down there. I wanted to see the people that I knew, but I didn't know if they were going to be there or not. And that was kind of more than anything. Then I didn't know who would even know who the heck I was. So maybe, it wouldn't be no big deal. But I'd love to meet Chris and Dave, NorCal Dave, basically anybody I watch. I mean, I watch people on here too. I'm not so conceited that I don't watch anybody else. I mainly watch the commercial stuff or refrigeration stuff. I don't really watch residential a whole lot. We're a Carrier dealer and do a lot of geothermal, a lot of gas. You got to remember, we're in Ohio, and this was the weirdest thing for me to kind of just sum things up and get things kind of winding down here. That, all over the country, there's different things, different equipment brands, different things are popular in different areas. Heat pumps are no good usually, generally in Canada, but yet they're popular as heck out there in Florida. I have a heat pump and I have an LP gas furnace because I'm in the country. I don't have natural gas available. So it's amazing, like when I was talking to Chris, he's like, we don't have basements out there. Well, I'm in a basement right now. I'm like, why not? I didn't know that you couldn't do that or it's not suitable. I mean, all over the country, there's different things. Like I've noticed up in the Northeast, New Jersey area and stuff, oil furnaces are really popular. We've got oil furnaces around here. I've done a bunch of those. And luckily we don't do them here where I'm at. So basically, that's funny. That's funny. So there you go. I didn't know who you watch or don't watch. I never really asked or what have you. So, I got a visitor here. Wants to say hi. Hold on. This is Chloe. So she was helping me in the one video that we did. So her mother brought her down here. So let's see if we can make that disappear. Boom. So Chloe, you want to say hi to the world out there? So I've got 2 pugs and a French bulldog here. So anyhow, this is my wife's dog. I've got the killer pugs, or one of them anyhow. She's got the other one. So, but yeah, the people I'd like to meet, it's just the usual ones, Gil and stuff, the HVAC Uncensored. Those guys are really cool. I've had a good conversation with him. Had some things in common, which was pretty cool. And so anyhow, any last things, guys? And I will probably wrap it up. Like I said, I hope to maybe bring on some different guests and things like that. Maybe do a call-in thing where I can bring guests on, kind of like a radio show even potentially. I don't care. I guess it really depends on whatever you guys find to be interesting is basically what I'm going to do. You know, you can only come on here and talk about yourself so much. You know, I want to know what you guys are interested in, what you know, you guys have to say, how things are going on out there in the Corona world and all that stuff. You know, you guys can always play it back. What I said earlier, you know, we are slow, and yeah, I already showed that one. Whoops. So let me scroll down here, make sure there's no other stuff. But when did I get this party started? HVAC overtime. I started at 9:15, and that came in not too long ago. Hey, curious HVAC guy, what's going on, dog? And so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here, guys. I hope to have, you know, things a little more professional, you know, have an intro, have a, you know, header, a splash screen, all that stuff. But for right now, like they say, you just got to go do it. So if you guys are out there and you want to make videos and stuff, you know, the big thing is your camera. That's all you need. Record in the horizontal position. Keep her steady. Try not to scan all over a million miles an hour. Get permission to do it, and just get started. You know, that's the big thing. Just get started. That was the biggest thing from all the YouTubers out there. It doesn't matter who they were. You know, everyone's got something to offer out there, and you got to start somewhere. I started slow and low, and you know, I'm nowhere near the big dogs yet, but I hope someday maybe I will. I don't. You just don't know where it's going to go. So as long as I'm providing content that you guys enjoy, that's all that matters to me for right now. So once again, if you guys would like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you click that notification bell, guys. I appreciate everyone coming on. And until next time, we'll catch you guys on the next one.